What is up, you guys? It's Rahul here, back again with another video. And today we got my way too early predictions for the 2020-21 NFL season. I changed the name yet again. Yeah, I know, you guys. I'm gonna change my name every week. No, I'm kidding. All right. I just wanted to talk about the NFL too, so I decided to change the name to just let me just talk about the NFL. Anyways, you guys saw the title of the video, way too early predictions for the 2020-21 NFL season. That being said, let's get started, but make sure you like and subscribe as always. Now, that being said, let's finally get started. All right, how I'm going to go over this is I'm going to go over the division winners for every NFL division, and then I'm going to go with my 3 wild card teams, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the teams that didn't make the playoffs. Anyways, for the AFC, I have the Chiefs winning the AFC West, the Baltimore Ravens winning the AFC North, the Buffalo Bills winning the AFC East, the Tennessee Titans winning the AFC South. My 3 wild card teams are the Denver Broncos, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Cleveland Browns. Now, some teams that I feel like just missed out on the playoffs that could definitely make the playoffs are really only these 3 teams: the New England Patriots, the Indianapolis Colts, and the Las Vegas Raiders. Man, I nearly said Oakland. Anyways, I think the Patriots have a decent shot at making the playoffs. However, I feel like they'd have to win 1 or 2 more games, and for that to happen, Jarrett Stidham has to be very good. And when I mean very good, he has to be just really good. And for that to happen, I think N'Keal Harry has to have a good season. And now I can give him a pass for his rookie year since he was injury prone in that year, and he just didn't get that much time to shine. And I mean, obviously with those injuries, it was going to be kind of hard to shine. With that being said, I think the Patriots have a very good team, and their defense can get them 7 wins. They can just get them 7 wins. And then I feel like the offense needs to do a little bit better if they want to get in the playoffs. But for now, I think they have a respectable 9-7 record. The Indianapolis Colts, they obviously got Phillip Rivers, and they have a really good offensive line, plus some good weapons for him. Now, the reason why I have the Colts going 8-8 is really just due to the fact is just I'm not sure how good Phillip Rivers is really just gonna be. Plus, they have to play the AFC North, so compared to other teams, I wouldn't say their schedule is as hard, but I'm just not sure how good Phillip Rivers is gonna be. So yeah, that's why I have them going 8-8. The Raiders, I think 6-10 is their record, mainly just due to a tough schedule. Obviously, Kansas City and Denver twice, plus New England, the entire NFC South. So of course, New Orleans. Plus, you also got Tampa Bay, and then you also got the Cleveland Browns, so not too fun. And really, it's just a kind of a tough schedule, but I think the Raiders are not a trash team, and they could definitely make the playoffs. But if I had to choose between the Patriots, Colts, and Raiders, I'd either bet my money on the Patriots or the Colts really making the playoffs. With that being said, let's go move on to the NFC. I have the 49ers winning the NFC West, the Saints winning the NFC South, the Dallas Cowboys winning the NFC East, and the Green Bay Packers winning the NFC North. My 3 wildcard teams are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seahawks, and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, some teams that could definitely make the playoffs is realistically quite a bit, actually. I got the Arizona Cardinals, who just missed out, the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, and then I don't know about the Los Angeles Rams, but I feel like it's kind of realistically these 3 teams that could definitely make it. The Arizona Cardinals, as we all know, now have a very high-powered offense led by Kyler Murray, with receivers like DeAndre Hopkins, Christian Kirk, and a good running back in Kenyon Drake. However, I think due to playing in the NFC West, which is a very tough division, that's obviously not going to be easy, but they also have to play the entire AFC East, so not too easy. So obviously it's really just the schedule here, but I don't think this team is trash, and they could definitely bounce Philadelphia from the playoffs. Chicago, I think Nick Foles it really just depends. If Mitchell Trubisky starts, I'm not sure this team does very well. But if Nick Foles starts, I do have a little bit of confidence, but really they just need some good quarterback play, and I do think they can do better than 8-8 if their quarterbacks play well. Since with a good quarterback, this team is actually pretty good. Are they maybe the same 12-4 team we saw in the 2018-19 season? Probably not, but I do think 8-8 is really just my prediction. The Detroit Lions at 7-9, I think they could maybe make the playoffs, but since Matthew Stafford is very good and underrated, obviously they lost Darius Slay, but I think Jeff Okudah and Desmond Trufant's all right, and plus they did improve the defense by getting guys like Deron Harmon, Jamie Collins, and they also got guys like Trey Flowers on the defensive end. Obviously, the offense has guys like Matthew Stafford, as mentioned before, Kerryon Johnson, Marvin Jones, and Kenny Golladay, plus TJ Hawkinson. Really, I think these 7 teams are just going to make the playoffs, and if I had to bet my money on one of these NFC teams making it, I'd probably most likely bet the Cardinals or the Bears. Now, let's move on to the playoffs. Now, for the AFC wildcard matchups, we have the Denver Broncos versus the Tennessee Titans, the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Buffalo Bills, the Cleveland Browns versus the Baltimore Ravens. I personally think that Tennessee is going to pull off the victory against Denver. Sorry, Dad, I know. My dad's a Broncos fan, so he's going to be sad. But anyways, I have Tennessee beating Denver, mainly because Drew Lock's going to be a rookie, and I'm not sure how good he'll do in the playoffs. He won't be a rookie, but he'll be a sophomore. It's going to be his first time in the playoffs, and I'm not sure how well he can do when it's his first time in the playoffs. But he shouldn't be embarrassed by that. A lot of quarterbacks are not going to win their very first playoff game. I mean, Lamar Jackson hasn't even won a playoff game yet, and surprisingly, Carson Wentz hasn't actually. Yeah, I know, the guy gets injured every time in the playoffs, but whatever. The point is, I have Tennessee winning this, but it will not be an easy one. If I had to predict the score, I'd maybe predict like 21-24 or maybe 28-24, something like that. I think Denver can definitely give a good fight, but it's going to be Tennessee, I think, winning this. Buffalo, I think, is going to beat Pittsburgh, mainly because Buffalo just has the more talented team. And Pittsburgh, obviously, they just aren't as talented as Buffalo. And I think Josh Allen is definitely getting some playoff experience, but compared to Big Ben Roethlisberger, he doesn't have as much playoff experience, but I just think it's a matter of talent here. Now, Baltimore and Cleveland. I think Baltimore's going to win this one, but it's definitely going to be a pretty fun matchup to watch these two high-powered offenses go at it. And I just think that Baltimore just made some improvements that are pretty good, but Cleveland is also not that bad of a team. Now, for the NFC, I have the Buccaneers versus the Packers, the Seahawks versus the Cowboys, and the Eagles versus the Saints. I think the Buccaneers will beat out the Packers, as the Buccaneers just have a more talented team, and the Packers still don't have a clear number 2 option besides like another number 2 option to Devontae Adams. But Tampa Bay, I think they have enough to really just hold their own against Green Bay. Seattle versus Dallas will be a really fun matchup to watch, and two high-powered offenses will go at it. However, Dallas's defense is not as good. I mean, the secondary, I don't think it will be good enough to guard guys like both Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf. And I think DK Metcalf can have a real breakout season in 2020. And I have the Seahawks upsetting Dallas in this matchup. And Philadelphia, New Orleans, I have New Orleans winning, guys. Philadelphia, obviously, we're not sure about the wide receivers. Plus, New Orleans just has a better team. Now for the divisional round, we got the Bills versus the Ravens, the Titans versus the Chiefs in the AFC. I have the Ravens. This could really go either way, but I have the Ravens winning this one, mainly because of Lamar Jackson. And I think that Josh Allen is just a much worse QB than Lamar Jackson. And if Lamar Jackson doesn't choke in this playoff game, then I think both these teams are very talented. So realistically, it can go any other way. But I just think Lamar Jackson is going to really just lead the Ravens to this win. Now, the Titans and Chiefs, I mean, the Chiefs didn't make a ton of changes to their roster, so I think it's really going to be the Chiefs winning this one, since I think the Titans will not be as good as the 2019 to 20 playoffs Tennessee Titans, and stopping this Kansas City team is just pretty hard, and we can't expect a wild card team to have a Cinderella-like run every year in the playoffs. Now we got some great football in the NFC divisional round, as we have the Buccaneers versus the Saints, a great NFC South rivalry. We'll see two of the greatest quarterbacks to ever step a foot on an NFL field, and Tom Brady and Drew Brees go at it. I personally think that this is going to be a great showdown, and if this could obviously go either way, but I'm going to choose the New Orleans Saints, mainly because even though Tampa Bay is more talented, I think New Orleans has a better secondary to guard and hold their own against Tampa Bay. Now, do I think Tampa Bay's secondary sucks? No, it does not. However, I don't think they'll be able to stop Emmanuel Sanders and Michael Thomas plus Alvin Kamara. and Jared Cook. And really, the Saints are just more, I feel like, more balanced as a team compared to Tampa Bay. So I have the Saints winning this one, but the Buccaneers can definitely win it as they obviously have a very good team. And New Orleans, they're obviously famous for choking in the playoffs in recent years. Now we got Seattle and San Francisco, another classic division rivalry. We'll see Russell Wilson and Jimmy Garoppolo go at it. But I think San Francisco wins this one as they have an amazing front seven. And Seattle's offensive line is not very good. And who knows? And I think they'll definitely limit Russell Wilson quite a bit. Plus, San Francisco, I feel like, has just a more talented team. So I have my two divisional round winners being New Orleans and San Francisco in the NFC, and then Baltimore and Kansas City in the divisional round. Now we got the conference matchups, the Ravens and the Chiefs, and the Saints and the 49ers. For the AFC, I think this is going to be an epic showdown as we got the two new faces of the league, and Patrick Mahomes and Lamar Jackson facing off. I think this one can definitely go either way, but I'm going to go Kansas City, mainly because Patrick Mahomes is just really what we've seen from him so far at a young age, as he's been able to win many playoff games despite, only in his... Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I think Kansas City is going to win this one, mainly because Patrick Mahomes, we've seen how well he can do in both the postseason and the playoffs. I mean, the guy has won, 4 playoff games already in his very young career. And really, I think compared to Lamar Jackson, he's just the better player. But obviously, this can definitely go either way, as both teams are very talented. But I think Kansas City's going to pull this one out, as they are going to go back to the Super Bowl and see if they can defend their title. Now, New Orleans and San Francisco, a great rivalry again. I think it's going to be San Francisco who pulls this one out, as I think I feel like they are the more balanced team, and they have a better team compared to New Orleans. But New Orleans can definitely win it. But I do feel like New Orleans, man, it's kind of hard to say that. New Orleans will lose this one, as they are kind of famous for choking in the playoffs. And unless Drew Brees can finally, and the team can just not choke in the playoffs, I think that they could definitely win this one. However, I think it's going to be a rematch of Kansas City and San Francisco. Super Bowl 55 in Florida still, and got the two same teams. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, Rahul, come on, man. It's just, can you make this video fun? I don't want to see the two same teams. I mean, look at all that red. Whatever. I just think that these two teams, considering how good they are still, are going to make it to the Super Bowl and rematch. And I have the Chiefs still pulling this off, because San Francisco still hasn't made any major improvements to the secondary. And that's not a great move, as really, you need a good secondary if you want to beat this Kansas City team. And when the front seven cannot get to the quarterback, the secondary is going to be left hanging. And because of that, I have the Chiefs winning it. However, I do think San Francisco can definitely win this one if they do not choke it. So, really, I have the Kansas City Chiefs still winning it as they go back-to-back. Man, I am just so thirsty right now. I've been recording for 13-14 minutes, and yeah, whatever. The point is, I think the Kansas City Chiefs are still going to be the defending champions as they win it yet again. With that being said, thank you guys for watching as always. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment down what you guys want to see next. And with that being said, I'm out, you guys.